there are certainly more African men published than African women published. And when I was studying in Ghana, I think we probably read 4 male writers to 1 female writer. But their names were out there. You know, you had Mariam Abba, they would say, and you would know. T.C. Dangaremba. I mean, obviously, to some of the traditional names to a European eye, it could be male or female, but we know. But no, I haven't detected that sort of need into using initial. You have to remember that the outlets for African writing that's kind of crossed over into Europe were very small. Macmillan had a series called the Pace Setters series, and then the Heinemann had the African Writers series, and those were the 2 main outlets. Heinemann's series, when it was started, was edited by Chinua Achebe, and a lot of the writing that came out of it came out of both Nigeria and the East Africa. Makerere University produced a lot of writers, but the patterns followed the patterns of education, in a sense. You have to remember, a lot of us are writing in a second language, so the barriers that existed for girls going to school also meant that, by definition, or by default, there were barriers that existed to women getting published, because if you didn't get to be educated to a certain level, the likelihood that your work would be read by a publisher or editor in the first place, you know, was non-existent. And I think really, it was more, I think that's where the discrimination has happened more than anything. Ghana has several female writers. Actually, I think Ghana has more female writers than male writers. But I think Ghana is unique in the sense that in education, girls have always been encouraged to go to school, and in a lot of the at least two of the tribal groups, women have traditionally been very powerful. The Ashanti, with the Ashanti, the Queen Mother has veto power over the chief. So even though he's nominally chief, his mother actually has the final say on decisions. And they were allowed to choose their own husbands and divorce them if they thought they were cowards. You know, there was such nice benefits. And also when it was time to go to school, they just, if they could afford to, they just sent them off to school. So, you know, one of the judges at The Hague is a Ghanaian woman, and you find, you know, in academia around the world. And so I think that it kind of mirrors what education was, really, in my experience. I don't know what it's like in the Arabic world.
I don't know. I don't have any statistics.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
Because Egypt definitely has some nice, loud female writers. So you know, I mean, they are there, but the skew is still there. But they haven't needed, as far as I know, to use initials to hide or become Georges. So, yeah.